Yeah, you might want to reset the...
Okay. So it wants to climb, so you're having to push.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to give you a little less pressure that way. How did that work? You feel anything different there?
A little.
Let me know if you want more.
All right.
So now you're definitely heading down.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice.
So, Bill, when you were doing your safety checks, obviously you take a sample of the fuel.
Yep.
Do you ever get water in it because of all the condensation in the air and that sort of thing?
Never.
Ever? Really?
Never.
Is that because you just keep the tanks full, or?
I always keep the tanks full. Plus, being in a hangar is the biggest factor. And I change the O-rings on the fuel cap every 2 years.
Ah, okay.
So never let them get old. So that airport is Everglades Airport.
Ah, okay.
So I'm just going to steal your display for a second, check the weather, see how that's looking. Kind of not moving, sitting there pretty slow. And we'll just keep monitoring it. So to go from our current magenta leg to the next leg, figure out where do you want to start to make the turn so you fill a nice radius in there. Right? You could probably go another 4 miles or so. We'll take you to that outer ring, right, and then cover that same kind of radius they got there.
Get off track here, right?
Yeah, you're trying to stay away from the clouds as well, right? So it's yeah, I think you're fine. Well, Bruce, you kept the touch. I mean, you've stayed right in spec. If you were taking your check ride right now, you would be a pass.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I was talking with, way back when I was talking with guys, and some guys only wanted to fly into non-towered airports because they were, I don't know, intimidated or whatever, having to talk with the tower. And I was the opposite. I prefer to talk with the tower.
Yeah, it's much easier, right? You got somebody else watching traffic, kind of keeping everybody organized.
Right.
I landed Monday in Okeechobee. There was 5 of us in the pattern at the same time.
Really?
It was. So I just changed that next leg to magenta, so we could probably start the turn now. And so you want to hold it right about there. That'll put you on a standard rate turn, about 18 degrees. Very nice. And you'll remember you want to pull the yoke back a little bit because you lose a little bit of vertical lift in a turn. So you want to try to get that yellow dot right on the white line. There you go.
I was a little high. That's
I see. Yep.
And what's our next heading?
Next heading is going to be 339.
We're high here.
Yep.
Hello, Miami, caution 280 Golf Lima, 10,000.
Alright, 280 Golf Lima, Miami Center, climb, maintain for hold. 230, stay heading.
Alright, Clemente Flight 230.
Well, Bruce, I'm very impressed. You're doing great.
Extra 20 degrees right.
Look at it, made the turn, got the altitude right where you wanted to be.
Request Houston, when able, flying of 3.
Climbing now.
Alright, we can take 300 now, 20 Golf Lima.
Or 3726, thank you. Adam Echo 412, static Molly approach 120.5.
A little bit to the right there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam Echo 412.
Wait.
That's impressive. 20 years, you have not lost the touch. Oh, careful, you're going
Yep.
pretty fast down. Little pitch too high.
Hunter, contact Miami approach on 133.
Trying to get the heading right.
November 3726, contact Miami Center 126.52. Envoy 3858, contact Miami approach 120.5.
Contact Miami approach 125, Envoy 3858, thank you.
You know, this is amazing. You're not using the rudder at all. I mean, that's
Very different, isn't it?
very different.
Yep. Now,
Very-
I extended the rudder pedals back out. Do you want to give it a try, see it, and get a feel for it? And let me know if you want to move your seat up. I can take the
That's
controls.
all right.
You can slide your seat up if you need to.
Don't need to touch it a heck of a lot.
No. Yeah.
On the 172s,
Oh, yeah.
you know, there's a lot of, and you know, it was not a tail dragger, but still you
Right.
had to use a fair amount of rudder.
Absolutely.
22 Golf Lima.
And taxiing landing with this plane as well. Like the other day, I was pretty much maxed out on my rudder.
Really?
12 knot crosswind. Yeah. So I'm slipping it.
Well, you have the dovetail too, right? Does that make a difference?
No, not really. It functions identically. See how that weather's looking. I think we'll head back and I think still get there before the storm comes in, but we'll get a feel as we get closer.
Right.
And I'm just going to check the storm scope here. Yeah, it still says the lightning is 50 miles away. Okay.
Pretty far off our course here. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
and you could just stay on this current heading and intersect right at that next line, the blue line. Well, George Gottschall's going to be jealous.
Well, I have very little excuses. George probably, I don't know, has he ever been up before or no?
Twice.
Well, I mean, as far as any instruction or anything like that. Oh,
Nope.
well.
Yeah.
Clear wings 214, 230 on a 110 heading for weather next 30 miles.
And I'll just change the next leg to be magenta.
Clear 214, Miami Center, roger. When able, clear direct Peacock. Hey, direct Peacock, we can do it. Clear wings 214.
Did you take after Hurricane Ian, did you take a run down the coast, you know, days later to look?
No, just too depressing.
Yeah.
And there was a huge amount of Coast Guard operations out of Punta Gorda, bringing people back and forth.
Yeah.
And the stories, honestly, would just make you cry that these guys...
Really?
Oh, it's horrible. So...
Well, the other thing is they probably didn't want to have quote-unquote, tourists.
Exactly.
I mean, for the airspace they needed.
Absolutely. And they did do like a TFR like this, where they block it off.
Yeah.
They had that blocked off that whole way over there, so to keep general aviation planes out. So that's a military airspace. It's a MOA, right? But it starts at 7,000 feet, so it's above us.
Start the turn, or is it a little early?
I think you're good. You could just keep going right on this path, and it'll intersect with the magenta. And then when we get about 20 miles before we get to target, I'll take over and descend down.
All right.
And I'm just going to go grab the weather.
Approach is in use, landing and departing runway 15. Use caution, bird activity near the airport. Remarks, lightning distance south and west. Eyes on initial contact, you have Lima. Tower information, Lima time 1620, special observation. Wind 170 at 6, visibility 10 with thunderstorms, sky conditions, few clouds 2,500, 7,500 scattered. Temperature 27, dew point 23, altimeter 29 or 9.
Starting the turn.
Visual approach,
Very good.
landing and departing.